Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Hello everyone, and welcome back down here to the Gamer's Den with me, your host, Jordan, your master of lore and storyteller extraordinaire, picking up where we left off for Total War Warhammer 2, the Count Noctilus Mortal Empires campaign, here once again at Fort Bergbres as we come under siege by the Bretonnians once again, this time led by Duke Chilfroy, being backed up by the Bretonnian king Lewin Liancourt. Chilfroy has a wide variety of items available to, well, units rather, but the item he has is that the Silver Lance of the Blessed, forged by Gilles the Uniter himself. But before we start resuming all of this and get underway with this siege, if you're new here to the channel, go on down there, hit the subscribe button, and become a regular member here at the Gamer's Den. Join the crew of the Dreadfleet. Or, if you've already gone on ahead and done that and become an undead monstrosity, then go on down, hit the like button, and share the video far and wide. And don't forget, drop a comment down below if you have any unit name suggestions to rename any of these fabulous undead horrors to a name of your choosing. But now, let's go ahead and actually see if the auto-resolve is actually drunk and needs to go home, or if we'll actually be defeated today. Let's get underway, me hearties. Going back to the history of the Warhammer world, I wanted to try to do things in a chronological fashion, but I find myself wanting to talk a bit about the dwarfs and their culture and the way they're situated. Now, the dwarves themselves, and they're absolutely fascinating. I mean, they have a lot of those classic traits that you can see and reach back through to all the way into, oh my goodness, why am I blanking on his name? Tolkien. Back into the Lord of the Rings series and the Silmarillion, you know, ancient people, long-lived people, couple of centuries at a time, you know, honor being all stolid, hardy people, miners living deep within the earth, harvesting the rich veins of resources, minerals, and all the different gemstones. They're able to do, they do all of these things, and they do so with a heart and gusto that is just unparalleled. These guys up here a little bit. They don't really have a lot of archers. Let's see. What they do have, though, is quite a bit of Grail Knight cavalry. Sure. Well, anyways, in the, you know, they have all of these traits there, you know, honor and tradition and their clans, loyalty to their high kings, and, you know, without a doubt, some great and incredible fighters. Now, for the dwarves of the Warhammer world, one of the things that they are unable to do is use magic, or rather, it's less that they're unable to and more that they just don't trust it. It's that strange, finicky chaos stuff, you know, it's thoroughly unreliable. You just can't trust it. And understandably so. I mean, you take a look at the kind of damage and chaos that, well, literally chaos that things like magic is able to wreak on the world. Just able to utterly decimate and corrupt and be so influential on how things go, just utterly corrupting the mind. And then the fact that, the elves betrayed them, and the elves are masters of this art, beyond masters of this strange arcane art. Of course they don't trust it. Especially after all the betrayal they went through with the elves at the hands of Malekith. And also, the elves being too proud to tell people, hey, kind of going through a civil war, so if some people that look like us show up and start enslaving your people, well, it's not us. They don't tell anybody that. Let's see, let's have you there. Let's see, we're going to want cannons right up here in the middle. Let's get... So, yeah, they don't use magic so much, but they have a workaround where they can use a form of magic. They don't use magic the same way that humans and elves and chaos sorcerers do. No, they have a series of runes taught to them by their ancestor gods like Grimni and Valea. These runes collect the innate magical energies, that raw chaos energy, and it collects it and it keeps it safely stored. It doesn't have that same rate of failure that more traditional forms of magic have for the Warhammer world. So this allows them to have a great deal of influence still on the battlefield, means of boosting the armor of their warriors, means of protecting their people in a fight. Let's have both of you shoot at those Pegasus Knights. I'm going to try to remember to record this. Just look at that, though. Thank God we have armor-piercing damage. Alright. Just go out and delete them, please. Beautiful. Did his job. Okay, good. Ooh, those Pegasus Knights taking some good damage here. Oh, my deck droppers. I forgot about them. Oh, that's right. They have a...
Your orders? Who are the rules?
They have artillery. Where is it? At least these guys are very tired, but so far... Get in there. Yeah, so far we're making a mess of them. Ooh, here come those Pegasus Knights. Ooh, here's more coming. Ooh, no. Hit Lewin Lienko. Hit the King of Bretonnia. No, don't you start running. Ah, oh, here they come. Look at that charge. boost our melee defense. Shoot them in their flanks. Summon zombies. How are we doing up here? Ooh. Yeah, you guys get up here. Get him trapped in place as soon as possible. And you guys stop shooting. Oh no, my deck droppers. Actually, you know what? You guys. New target. That. Look at this glorious mess. Could have sworn that they had artillery, but I must have been wrong. Whew. Man. Let's get some heavy hitters in here. Alright, you guys stop shooting now. But you. Unit losing. Oh, let's speed this back up. Sorry, I'll talk more about the dwarfs in a moment. I'm just... Ah, yes. Maybe someday soon I'll get to upgrade to a proper gaming PC. This gaming laptop has served me well, but... don't know how well she can hold up anymore.
Pistols loaded! Gunners!
Enemy ladders.
Orders. We obey.
Ooh. Look at you guys. Oh, my deck droppers are gone. Oh, Lewin. Lewin.
Enemies, whale!
Alright, because you're a... yeah.
Your orders. Holding action.
Oh, no. No, don't you guys go running out there. Need everyone to stay inside right now.
Sage my sword! Powers of the dead!
Ready.
could have sworn that they... Ooh. Mortars. Take care of that, please. We don't need that kind of negativity.
The lady demands blood.
Yeah. But look at those ranks of Grey Knights. I mean, that's about as close to Space Marines as you can get for the Warhammer setting. Oh, you get over here. Eat those foot squires.
They shall fall! Dark hex.
This doesn't boost miscast chance, does it? Okay, good. I don't want to make that mistake again.
Feel their blood.
Gate damage 96%. We better get ready.
Charge! We move. Blasted.
Because here they come.
Gunners!
What? Thine will be done.
Move, you dogs!
Unfortunately, we are out of magic now. Our ability to heal will be severely limited.
Let it begin. Onslaught.
Gunner in, Mom! Good!
Your orders. As they time. We move. Not charge.
Eager to kill! By your word!
The plan acknowledged. So be it.
This is still pretty firmly in our favor here.
Gunner in, Mom! Yes, Captain!
Not the Knights of the Realm. Shoot the Reliquary. Actually, you know what? No, shoot that Paladin.
Pistols loaded!
Alright then, everyone. Look at that pile of dead knights.
The lady's blessing is lost!
Well, auto-resolve was drunk. That took us just a little under 11 minutes. Let ourselves rack up as many kills as possible here. All right. Still had some rifles that didn't really get to fire a whole lot. It's okay. Man. What a great shot. Heroic victory. We are saving that replay. Whoops. I think that was my one with the dwarves there. Vampire Coast. Yeah, that'll work. End the battle. Cheers, everyone. My only 2 lost units. My deck droppers and that bloated corpse. Heck, my main army didn't really get all that many kills. I mean, looking at those numbers there, that had to be the towers and the fort garrison that did a lot of that. I'll see if I can't get a little bit more of a cinematic look at the battle overall with that replay, and I'll get that posted as well. Right, the dwarfs. So, with the dwarfs, their concept of honor is just taken up to 11, and it's just magnified so much. Like, honor is all, to the point that oaths and vengeance are probably the 2 most common bylaws, traits of dwarfs in Warhammer Fantasy. Because any oaths are a promise, and breaking a promise makes you an oath breaker. Therefore, vengeance needs to be exacted upon you. What form that vengeance takes depends on the severity of the oath broken. A minor trade agreement probably could be settled with some gold, but going back on your word, betraying a dwarf in particular, that could very well mean just vengeance that costs you your life. And if they can't find you, they will find your descendant and exact the vengeance upon them. Because it doesn't matter that your descendant had no idea what was going on. The dwarf that was wronged is probably still alive and will still exact vengeance against your clan, because clans are family, family are clans, so therefore your family, your clan, is responsible for the oath being broken. So they will go and exact that vengeance, and the fact that your descendant may well be a farmer who has never picked up a weapon in their lives matters little. Wow, 255 kills, 177. Whew. Yeah, those towers definitely did a lot of work too. So what do we want to do? Ransom captives? Recover? Recovery is probably not a big issue for us right now. So let's ransom those captives and rake in their gold. Ooh. Those purple winds of magic are strangely absent around these parts, making the bindings that tie our troops to this world and our will tenuous at best. Should we wait for the winds to blow more favorably for us, or press on regardless? An eternity to wait. We're eternal. Time means little to an undead crew. Therefore, let's wait until the winds blow favorably once more, shall we? Or reckless advance. The dead lie in every corner of the world, and almost all of them would make acceptable crew members. With a little bit of binding, should our current rabble crumble away, we'll raise new forces in no time, I'm sure. Let's march on. Lower leadership, lower winds of magic starting amount, and power reserve, but +2 local recruitment capacity, or minus 20% campaign movement range, but a boost to all of our winds of magic. That's a tough one, because I like my campaign movement ranges. But since we're focused largely on defensive fights in a small area, and otherwise we're moving with Count Noctilus across the waters, how long does this last? 10 turns? We'll go with an eternity to wait. Assault units critical failure. Tony Holloway. Mr. Holloway holds together. Excellent. Assault garrison failure. Arnaud Stira, dead. Blackstone post has raiding happening. Defeated Lewin Leoncoeur. Anna Butters, level 20 now. Good for you. And Man's Ruin, plus 5 leadership when fighting against men. That's awesome.
What is your demand?
Okay, so Mr. Holloway
Last, we will feast.
does not have to worry about reinforcing up here right now, so you go.
Infamy
Oh.
grows.
Take care of this, please.
Get them.
Decisive victory. Okay, I don't mind burning the bloated corpses right now.
The dead.
Auto-resolve that. Yeah, you go ahead and take the replenishment there.
The sea
That,
brings
along with another turn spent recovering,
death. Prepare my
will be pretty valuable. You get inside the fort, please. Boost that even further. Oh, guess you can't, but that's okay. You're in the fort, so you're safe. Okay. Invocation and the Hex been boosted. Drowned Dead. Gaze of Nagash. Let's boost your ability to support your troops. Let's recruit 2 more bloated corpses, because we are definitely taking that. Or at least
I must
defending
keep my
against
holy
that.
vow. No.
Captain, on deck.
Chilfroy. You do not have much left for going for you there, buddy.
Smell their dread.
Let's see. Ooh, immortality, yes. That way you just get wounded instead of dying.
Quivering in their boots.
Don't need to keep losing
With
admirals.
purpose.
Let's see. You. Deck droppers with handguns. Need another one of you. And I'll worry about bloated corpses in a little bit. Yep. Okay.
All bones on deck.
Get after Duke Chilfroy.
It's time to
Kill
take
them. Assimilate. There we go. Edward Grail Hunter. Obsidian Trinket. Nice. Magic resistance is always
Our
welcome.
infamy grows.
There we go. Let's take black powder overload and boost our munitions.
They'll feel my lash. Fury. my way.
Completely unable to assault the garrison there. That's interesting. Well, then why don't you scout ahead, see what else may be coming our way now. Nothing yet. So what's Castle Artois have?
Another
5,
victory.
6, 8, 11 units.
Yes, master.
Let's reduce them to ash.
The lust is upon me. Let's fight. There is
We'll
treasure
sack
in
it.
graves. What is your demand?
Take them for everything they're worth. Let's get the drowned dead in here for bloated corpses.
On the double. Quivering
Probably
in their
did not need to
boots.
worry about doing that.
Blood and gold.
Let's actually get a little bit of replenishment going here.
Where's the lush?
Have you come back this way.
On the way soon.
Unassigned skill points. For whom? Tim the Slimy. Also, that reminds me, we will not rename Jim the Stasher. Hashtag I crawl with Jim. Black Flag, yes. Tim is only not leveled up very fast because he's just been down here comfortably raiding, adding in a solid 300 gold to our coffers every turn. Cat Anstand, Vampire Fleet Captain. Mostly got the things that I would want there redone. Let's see, what else can we level up for you? Yes, let's take Deception. Cool.
Fleet captain reporting.
Let's stop Gorok from completely... Well, if they... No, I don't want them to annihilate that. I don't think that... they might. What's the Awakening at?
They'll fall.
Ooh, no. They'll be fine.
Kill
Although you
or
gaining
be
experience would be worth it. But... let's see what's going on down here. And you've got 13 turns anyways. Let's explore and see where people are sitting. Ooh. Oh, they've got some reinforcements. Not massive armies, but still. And the Hunts Marshal. I'm so surprised he's still alive. Ah, Tyrion. Tyrion, my friend. Let's see, who else? Tim, Charlotte. There we go.
Wave treading.
Oh, man, 5,500. That's because she's so new.
Blowing sky high.
And it's going to cost so much.
Aim for their stalls.
But it pays for itself in the long run. Len the Brine, right? He's hunting for treasure. Also helps to pay for things. Elnots, we have 2 of you.
Voyaging.
8,120.
We'll send a
Man,
message.
reduce the cost of that even further. Now they make 1808. So 50% of that will be another 900. 904. I can't really turn that down, although I should start building other things. I like making money. Pardon me. Let's see. All right, Tim, you didn't move.
Don't linger.
There. Jimbo Rayner. Jim Rayner. Which, if you don't know, StarCraft. This is Jimmy. Where's that exotic goods hauler at? Can't just be floating over there still. I'm worried about running into some of these elves. Okay. So, right, the dwarves' concept of honor is taken up to 11, like I said before. That produces some interesting things about their culture that I'll talk about once we come back from the next turn. They're attacking me. Pyrrhic victory. Tiny Tim Barnaclebeard. Oh my god, yes. I love it. Pyrrhic victory. Do I lose anyone? No. And this garrison, goddamn, what a garrison. I mean, this veterancy that they have. This is great. It's probably a big reason why. I mean, aside from the walls and the towers, that veterancy is probably what's accounting for a lot of this damage here, is they have units that can scale the walls very well. I mean, they've got the Sternsmen, their Graveguard, very good infantry, and then Graveguard with great weapons, also solid infantry. I mean, they're not the best, but for the value that they provide, they trade upwards really nicely. Anyways. Yeah. Ooh, they also have a Terrorgeist. Man. But they do have cavalry here, and then this monstrous infantry that can't really climb, and these mortis engines can't do anything. If this were an open field, this army might not do so great, especially lacking in artillery. But
Time for battle. Time to feed.
ah, the Awakened are destroyed. I should have helped them. Great incantation of Ksar performed. The Tomb King. Ancient Nehekara.
Count Noctilus
Ooh.
reigns.
Tyrant of Nagaroth.
Wow. Feral Manticores, a Charybdis. Some decent artillery there, too. I'll have to kill him soon. Not far behind from Baron von Hasty.
Count Noctilus reigns.
Where'd Tyrion go? That's concerning. There's the exotic goods hauler. It's just sitting there.
By Sigma, no.
Wild. Anyways, the dwarves.
We'll send a message.
So, honor is all for the dwarves. I mean, that's not a controversial statement in and of itself. Some money back would be good, but don't need research rate. We're making plenty of money. Let's increase our capacities here. So yeah,
On deck.
it's to the point that honor is so valued that it just is reflected in everything that they do, and they're bound so hard by traditions, like happily so, but they also are in some ways limited by that. For example, the Engineers Guild, they're the ones responsible for advancing Dwarfen technology, but any new technology needs to go through at least a century, if not a couple of centuries, bit of review by the elders, especially even if it's just a little bit of a change to an existing design, like the design was approved before. What are you doing making new things and making these recommendations? You think you know better than your elders, boy? So they will lean into that, and if anything is rushed and made too fast, that's grounds for expulsion from the Engineers Guild. Just making something too fast, or kicking a new design out too fast and putting it into use, even if it's something that's massively beneficial. Like, they actually have locomotion, steam trains, steam-powered trains. It's how that they've been able to keep up their pace of production and transportation of all this mineral wealth, despite the fact that the Karazenkor has been destroyed effectively with the destruction of the Underway by the Skaven, and the fact that so many holds have been destroyed. They're just able to transport goods in a massive quantity through these technological means and these marvels. But because these designs are sometimes put out too fast, their makers are thrown out of the Engineers Guild, only to some instances be reinstated a century or two later after the design becomes proven, much to the grumbling of the old graybeards who threw out the offending student, the offending engineer.
Very good.
Alright, we're taking Karak Ziflin back. Let's see. That's 4, 10 right there. They have 15, so 25, 26 versus my 20. But we have Lightning Strike. Now, what are you motivated by, my friend? Instigator. Other Pirate Lords, so I do need to kill off that other Pirate Lord soon. Might as well give you the standard of discipline. Ooh, there's the Orcs. Lightning Strike for decisive victory. Yeah, I'd burn those units there, but that's fine.
Another victory. Ship shape. Have at them.
Oh, no. Wait. Really? Okay, we're gonna retreat for now. That's interesting.
Ready. Blood and blood.
Let's see.
All set. Wipe them out. Bring war and infamy. Make yourselves at home. Corsair of the night.
Okay. Mr. Holloway, thank you for reclaiming territory.
Fallen deckhands.
Can't grab that, so... Slave pits. Can't build the... Strange. Can't really build up our defenses here either. I can see why. Don't really take many of these kinds of territories then. Okay. Well, still.
Orders. I am a lord of Bretonnia. Never.
What are we sitting at over here? 2 more victories, which will be at 11 here.
Nothing will stop me. The sea brings
Burn
death.
it all down.
Pistols and cutlasses ready. Bring me fire. Standing by.
Give them nothing, but take from them everything.
Captain on deck. I'll lash the stragglers. Orders. Treasure is near.
Missile strength and more munitions. So, right, I keep getting distracted. So, one of my favorite things about Dwarfen culture in the Warhammer fantasy setting is that honor is everything, right? And then another thing that is an indicator of Dwarven honor and status is their beards. Like, that's another thing that's taken up just to a different level, but it kind of makes a certain amount of sense, and it's just kind of a cool detail, I think, and that's the fact that, you know, a dwarf's beard is part of their status. It's part of what marks them as a dwarf, and it's a big part of their honor. Mentioned before when, was it Calidor II had that dwarfen diplomat, the voice of the king, forcibly shaven, just had his beard shorn away from his face, and what a huge dishonor that was. Even though he had no real ability to resist it, he would have been better off coming back dead because, well, he ended up taking the Slayer's Oath as a result, which was a fairly rare thing at the time. The Slayer's Oath basically is a way for a dwarf to restore their honor by essentially declaring themselves to be dead, then going on and seeking a glorious death in battle against the enemies of the dwarf realms. And they can't just go and commit suicide, they have to go and fight and die in the best way possible. From a tactical and strategic standpoint, their life has to have had value. Only then, once they die a good death like that, is their honor considered to be restored. Now, why did I talk about beards and everything? How's it tied? I mean, we talked about how that tied in with honor, but there's another step to it that's just really, really cool to me, and that is the fact that let's injure Wayne. Ooh. Lord Croak? Sorry.
It's what I do.
Failed. Figures. But, no. Given how important dwarf beards are, like they're damaging a dwarf's beard is grounds for you getting killed, much less shaving one off. So this means that beard care, beard maintenance, and appearance is massively important, to the point that they'll decorate it with silver and gold rings, brass rings, and just really make these ornate bits of protection. And you take a look at the artwork for these different dwarves, their armor, their helmets actually have plates that come down and cover their beards to protect them in the midst of a fight. Now, if the beard does still get damaged, well, presumably they and their fellows are going to be killing the ever-loving crap out of the enemy to begin with anyways. So, you know, dishonor taken care of right then and there. But this also means that Dwarven barbers are extremely rare, and they're also some of the most honorable people within Dwarven society, because only the most honorable of dwarves would be allowed to touch another dwarf's beard. Only the most skilled hands possible, skilled and honored and valued and just disciplined of hands, would be allowed to go near anybody else. And so their apprentices would be rigorously selected and chosen and given centuries of apprenticeship before they're allowed to touch any number of clients' abilities, to be declared any kind of a master of their own craft. And then imagine what it takes to become a barber to the Dwarf King himself, to the High King, to Thorgrim Grudgebearer. And imagine what that takes. Like, that's just insane to me, and I love it. That's a great detail, and it adds so much flavor and story to these people beyond just the grim and dour people. But more in a moment. Succeeded in assaulting a garrison. Besieged.
10,000
Oh goodness. Eilhart, Karelberg. Time to start making friends with the Empire, I think. We've also got the orcs marching through. And there's their WAAAGH. Ooh. Those black orcs. And those giants. A Ragnarok spy. Wow. And giants aren't the best single-entity monsters out there, but they are still single-entity monsters. And Ragnarok spiders are definitely much better. What's the WAAAGH? Okay, I can't see what the WAAAGH forces look like, but man. I think we might need some more agents down this way. Okay.
Can and will. I have arrived. Deckhands, fall in.
Okay. So, yeah, like I said, that's just a really cool, really neat detail, and I love that idea. It's fantastic.
Our infamy grows.
Valiant defeat. Even if we lightning strike it. I seriously do not believe that those battle pilgrims are worth any kind of a damn. Decline the attack.
All bones on deck.
Can't raise dead. Can't recruit anything because we're besieged. If I'd have been thinking I'd have raised more dead afterwards. A good bloated corpse would do so much to these guys. Shame I don't have any mortars. Those are great anti-infantry.
The sea brings death. What is your demand?
Do you take me for a churl?
Oh wait, I do have mortars.
Is it done?
Well, I think that's another instance of the auto-resolve being drunk. Alright then, Tim, let's have you shift this way. You know what's amazing to me is that we are rank 7 in terms of power, and we only have 4 armies. Granted, it's 4 good-sized stacks with a good amount of veterancy to them, except for Tim's army. Tim's army has no training at all.
Blood and toil.
Let's just try to pick off some of these
Time
guys.
to devour. So much
Good.
blood.
Additional 9% chance of wounding a target. Very cool. Okay. Let's go with the Curse of Undeath. Hey, McNugget. Let's get you moving along to fight this exotic goods hauler. Man, he's just creeping along so slowly. You can't do anything to affect him there. It's apparently immune to any kind of attrition.
They'll feel my lash.
Skeggy is still around, which is just surprising.
En route.
Oh, here we go. Ooh, there's Lord Mazdamundi. He does not have a great army, and man, he's only ranked 12? What's Silostra at? 14, man. Am I just... Man, this is a little bit wild to me. Noctilus. And we're almost maxed out with Noctilus. Alright, I need to build things here. This will cost a pretty penny. Oh my, yes. And like the... Oh man, we burned through so much of our population. But we'll get that racked back up. That's just so great. And this will be a significant boost to so many things. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. Had to put a wee one back to bed. Bad dream, but we are back and honestly about to wrap things up here. The last thing that we have to do, we have a Mr. Holloway to throw in at Castellon the Devoted for this, for the next thing that we're going to do, but we will pick that up next time. We are going to go ahead and get this going here, though. Let's see what things look like. Let's plan on lightning striking this, and what are we looking at? We don't have walls currently. Ooh, but we do have some ideal spots for our artillery. Okay, well, with all that said, we are going to wrap things up here. Remember that if you're new here to the channel, go on down there, hit that subscribe button, and become a regular member here at the Gamers Den. Hit those like or dislike buttons and let me know your thoughts down below if you're enjoying any of this, if you liked what you have seen here today, and also leave a comment if you want to rename any of these fabulous units over to a name of your choosing. But with all that said, I've been your host, Jordan, your master of lore and storyteller extraordinaire. Thank you all so very much for your time, and you all have yourselves a good night.